If you have world-class judges, why can't they make a decision? Why can't you go one way or the other? You know what I'm saying? A draw seems very weird to me, but...
And especially not going to a majority draw. This is a win for Manny Pacquiao. I'm just going to say it.
I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw.
After last weekend's majority draw between Manny Pacquiao and MarioBarrios, Pacquiao's team has filed an appeal with the WBC, challenging the result. Many, including Pacquiao himself, felt he clearly won. The judges scored the bout 114 to 114, while only one favored Barrios 115 to 113. Considering Manny's strong showing after a 4-year break, his team now wants the fight reviewed and possibly run back, claiming the outcome robbed him of a historic win.
Manny, the fans came out for you again tonight, but describe what you thought of the judge's decision.
I mean, I thought I won by split decision, but, you know, close fight, but I thought I won.
Didn't look like a 46-year-old tonight. How did you feel inside the ring?
I feel good, like, you know, I feel happy, like 2 months training, like when I was short, but it's enough. I started because of the election in the country.
What worked for you tonight, and what was missing late in the fight?
Missing late in the fight, like the last two rounds, like crumbs away. Well, it's okay.
But the rest of the fight, you look great. What happens now, Manny? Because there was options for you moving forward. There was even talks of a Floyd Mayweather fight. What do you see going on next?
Oh, that's another story. Like, let's talk about it. Like, good for me. Like, I'm in shape again.
Do you feel that you have what it takes to be a world champion once again?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I can still do it. For 2 months training, 4 years lay off, and then 2 months training, like, you know.
Pacquiao didn't hold back after the draw with Barrios, saying he believed he did enough to win. It was a close fight, but I thought I won. My opponent was tough, he told the press. Punch stats backed him up. He landed 81 power shots compared to Barrios' 75 and controlled the middle rounds. Coach Freddie Roach scored it 8 rounds to 4 for Manny. Despite the verdict, Pacquiao wants a rematch and is determined to keep building his legacy while motivating his fans.
I know you enjoyed the fight, but I thought, you know, although the decision is it's not really favor to me, like I'm sad, but I did my best. Being a no fight for 4 years, I'm happy for my performance tonight. So thank you to all your support.
Sit down. Put the left hook in right downstairs. Look, this is good. And he's taking the lead. Great confidence in top line. The time has come.
I feel I won. Me and my team feel, you know, that we won, and you know, we're very proud of what I showed, and you know, I'm still just, you know, thankful to be holding my title.
I think although my performance is good tonight, but I'm not satisfied of my combination tonight. I should throw a lot of punches and more aggressive to knock him out. You know, I thought that after the 12 rounds, I won the fight. Like my analysis, like I won 8-4. That's my analysis for the fight. But the thing is, I'm surprised with the announcement. It's draw. So I did my best in the ring. You know, the fans is it's so happy of my performance. But don't worry, Pac-Man is back, so I'm still here. Most of the fans, they're expecting that, you know, they thought that I won the fight. And although at age of 46, you know, the Pac-Man is still there, is still giving a good fight to the people, to the fans, you know. That's why I'm so thankful to God, because He gave me the strength and good health.
MP Promotions CEO Sean Gibbons slammed the draw decision in Pacquiao versus Barrios, calling it proof of corruption in boxing. He said Manny clearly outboxed Barrios, landing more power shots and dominating key rounds, but got robbed by shady judging. Gibbons accused the system of bias and political interference, saying it wasn't just a bad call. It damaged the sport's integrity. He called for a full investigation into the scoring, sparking calls for reform in how boxing judges operate.
The gambling aspect, I don't know. I mean, how does Manny lose cleanly? If you have world-class judges, why can't they make a decision? Why can't you go one way or the other? You know what I'm saying? A draw seems very weird to me, but I'm very proud of Manny because he spent 7 weeks preparing for this. The guy ran for an election for 3-4 months, did not train at all, did not fight for 4 years. The guy I watched put 7 weeks of training in. It's incredible. And to be robbed of the chance to make history, it's just sick. I hate this sport. I really hate boxing. This is the ugly side of it. This is the side I've done it for 37 years, makes me just want to get out of it. Because it's so sad to me.
What are your thoughts on the rematch that they asked Barrios about?
Fuck MarioBarrios. Who the fuck wants to see him? MannyPacquiao beat MarioBarrios. Fuck MarioBarrios. Not in a bad way. I like him. Well, fuck him. MannyPacquiao beat MarioBarrios. Why should he? What does he need to fight him again for? You know, if Manny wants to continue fighting, there's fighters like Rolly Romero. There's fighters like Javante Davis. There's guys out there. But I would never, well, let's say never, it's not my decision, it's Manny's. But when you do what you did and win a fight like that.
Veteran commentator Jim Gray didn't mince words after the fight, firmly saying Pacquiao won and calling the draw a disgrace. He argued the judges ignored Manny's clean punches, pressure, and control of the ring. Gray's criticism matched what many other analysts were saying, that the judges got it wrong. For Gray, the decision hurts boxing's credibility and shows why the sport urgently needs better judging at the top level.
Jim, did you think Pacquiao won that fight?
It was good. MannyPacquiao, I won. Yes, I did. I'm not a judge, but it's clear to me and clear to my eyes.
Clear to
and it's a shame. It's a shame for boxing. 2 judges who, you know, can't decide who the winner is. Really? Barrios, the champion. I guess you have to beat the champion, and I guess in their eyes they didn't clearly do that. But to me, it was an astounding, amazing, outstanding performance by a 46-year-old man. This is one of the all-time great performances.
Former two-time welterweight champ Sean Porter was outraged by the draw between Pacquiao and Barrios, calling it a slap in the face to fans and an insult to the sport. He said Barrios didn't take control and lacked effective body work, so awarding him rounds made no sense. Manny won, clearly, Porter said, blasting the scoring as incompetent. He questioned whether the judges even understood Pacquiao's style. His frustration echoed the outrage felt by fans and other boxing voices.
Listen, we've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Horn fight, you know, and shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there. We saw all the heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized, came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style to use against Manny Pacquiao. They were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did. But they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jab. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything for Mario.
Pacquiao came out strong, using his signature speed and power to control the early rounds. But as the fight went on, he started to fade, and Barrios took advantage with more offense in the later rounds, though Manny started better. Barrios's late push led to the draw. One judge had it 115 to 113 for Barrios, the others scored it even. The result let Barrios hold onto his WBC welterweight belt.
On the Way concept presented by The Ring Magazine. And folks, I just watched Manny Pacquiao, that's right, 8-division world champion and 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao off a 3-year layoff. Manny Pacquiao off a loss before the 3-year layoff. Manny Pacquiao go to a majority draw with a world champion in a title fight in 2025. What the just happened? The breakdown, let's go.
He is the star of Wade Concept.
So like I said, Manny Pacquiao, 2025, fighting for a world championship is not something you expect me to hear. Number one, especially off the 3-year layoff, especially at 147, especially off a loss, and especially not going to a majority draw. This is a win for Manny Pacquiao. I'm just going to say it. Tonight, he fought MarioBarrios on PBC, on Amazon Prime Video for the WBC World Championship. MarioBarrios, I like the guy, but it has to be said, when you have 2 of your last title defenses ending in a split draw and a majority draw, you may be the worst title holder in boxing right now. I'm sorry. That's not comparing him to being a shitty boxer. It's just saying that as of right now, he might be the worst world champion in boxing and maybe one of the worst I've seen in a while. Also, kind of unrelated, this kind of looks bad for Tank Davis's record because that was supposed to be a stalwart win on Tank's career when he moved up to 140 and beat Barrios for the belt there. But now it's not looking so good because 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao just went to a majority draw, and you can argue that Manny Pacquiao should have won the fight.
Wade Plemons, host of the Wade Concept, called the draw a moral win for Pacquiao. At 46 and coming off a long layoff, Manny still outshined the reigning champ. Plemons criticized Barrios for playing it safe, lacking urgency, and failing to dominate a smaller, older opponent. He argued Barrios' back-to-back draws raised doubts about his status as a true champion, saying his timid showing hurts not just his image, but the whole welterweight division.
Was winning up until the later rounds. Let's talk about it. So, like I said, Manny Pacquiao off the 3-year layoff, 46, didn't look great against Ugas in his last one. You had to think, okay, well, Barrios kind of decisively, this is going to go one way and one way only. Barrios potentially by stoppage or decision. That's not what happened. Barrios was so tentative in this fight. He was essentially standing there for some of the exchanges. Manny Pacquiao came out and did what Manny Pacquiao. Wait, credit to Manny. At 46, he still had some feet. He was moving, dancing on MarioBarrios. He was throwing some punches going forward on MarioBarrios. And when he wasn't doing that, countering MarioBarrios, who looked like a stick in the mud. He looked like he couldn't even get out of first gear because Manny was hitting with combinations.
Put Keith Thurman on his ass in the first. Oh my God, it's an experience. And it's another element opponents have to face. And then all of a sudden, Manny just starts cooking. He's just like, and Freddie said it, like he has this good 6th round, and Freddie was just like, you get him with a 5-punch combination, I think you can get him out of here. Now, I don't know if he was ever at that point. I can't say that Barrios was ever really in danger, but I think Freddie was right. Like, I just think that if Manny showed the threat, I just think it froze Barrios for all these rounds. And so he had a run of like 4 straight. And at my point, he's up on the scorecards, 87-84, which meant all he needed was one more round in my mind. And I was pretty in line with the TV broadcast. I think that we had a little bit of a swing on 8. I think 8 was a little closer, or 9 was a little closer, excuse me. But all he needed was one more round. And mind you, I bet on him, but I was like, Barrios comes out in the 10th. His trainer's like, hey man, you can't respect this guy. And it's tough because Manny pulls these tricks like where he's like trying to delay coming out of the ring because his tape's messed up, or he's like messing with the guy saying, hey, you're hitting me low, and even the ref had to be like, Manny, I'll determine if he's hitting low. But he's so charming. You just look at him and you're like, I can't get mad at him. But Barrios comes down that 10th, has some really good body work, and you're like, all right, I think he took that one. So then it's 96-94. Get to the next round, Barrios, he has some that was the closest that you could have probably leaned Pacquiao in my mind. But Barrios had some flurries. It just looked like he was getting better up. And it kind of looked like Manny was starting to wear down a little bit.